Lesson, we will talk about components, how to add them, why we need them. You will get to know two important physics components, collider and rigid body. Finally, we will learn physics materials which help us to set bounciness and friction. As you already know, all objects are anti-game objects with different components. How to add components? Let's click on our object and click here. Add component. You should understand that there are actually two separate physics engines in Unity. One for 3D physics and one for 2D physics. For example, there is a collider component 2D. You see it's just, plain object. And for 3D, it's like a cube. Right now we work on our 2D game, so we will use 2D colliders. So the basic components are physics ones. Because if we right now click on play, nothing is happening. So I exit the playing mode and we need to add a collider. So add component and circle collider for my circle. Collider components define the shape of an object for the purposes of physical collisions. A collider, which is invisible, does not need to be the same shape as the game object's mesh. There are simplest colliders, boxed, circle, and compound colliders. So we have added the circle one. Do you see this green circle around our object? This is it. Now we can click on Edit Collider here and make it smaller or bigger. Alright, let's go ahead and add a collider for our ground. Again, add component. This time it is a box collider. And you see, maybe it is too big for our ground. Let's click on Edit Collider. Do something like this. Okay, pretty good. Now the game objects have physical shapes and can participate in physics events, but they can't initiate them. They don't react to physics forces and is not influenced by gravity. So we still don't see any differences in playing mode. So we need another component, rigid body. I select my circle, add component, rigid body 2D. All right. Rigid bodies enable game objects to act under the control of physics. So I just added the rigid body 2D to my circle, and if I enter the playing mode, I will see that, my circle is falling down. Let's do it again, boom. Do it again, boom. All right. So it is falling down because of gravity. And if I uncheck the collider, the game object will simply pass through our ground because it doesn't have a physical shape. You can also add physics material to your object. Speaking about 2D object, the physics material helps you to add bounciness and friction. Let's go to the project panel and click on Create, Physics Material 2D, and let's rename it to Bouncy. All right. And you see there are two parameters here, friction and bounciness. Let's set bounciness to 1. All right. And click on my circle, find my collider, let's check it. And you see this material here, the material slot. You can simply drag and drop our physics material here. All right. Let's see. Boom. Yay. Yeah. This is the bounciness. That's right. All right. Now the objects not only react to the physics forces and other colliders, but it also does it in a bouncy manner, which is great. Let's duplicate our ball by clicking Ctrl D. All right, let's move it a little bit and change its position for both circles, like this. Okay. Now select the second one and let's take a look at the rigid body. So we have mass here, that is the weight of our object. And also we have gravity scale. So if your game needs abnormal gravity, for example, like on other planets, maybe, you can adjust gravity here. Let's, for example, type something like 5. So you see, this is the ball, this is the circle. Now it looks more like a ball. Well, anyway, it is the object with a normal gravity, and this is with abnormal. One more thing about rigid body is body type. Here, there are 3 options for body type. Each defines a common and fixed behavior. A dynamic rigid body 2D is designed to move under simulation, and static rigid body is designed to not move under simulation at all. A kinematic rigid body 2D is designed to move under simulation, but only under strong user control. So while a dynamic rigid body is affected by gravity and forces, the kinematic rigid body isn't. So if we need, for example, a rigid body for our ground, and if we don't change its body type, so let's see what will happen. Yeah, our ground is falling down because of gravity. So all we need to do is just set static here. And right now, it doesn't move, doesn't fall, which is great. And let's go back to our bouncy physics material. And let's say you need a slippery object. So for example, let's make our ground slippery. I will use the same material, set the friction to 0 and bounciness to 0, and rotate it a little bit. Select my ground, rotate it, and don't forget to drag and drop our bouncy here. And let's check that our circles don't have it. Okay, good. So no friction means slippery. So that means that our ground is slippery now, like ice. For example, if your platforms are made from ice, it can work for you. Each Unity component has this little blue book over here. And if you click here, you open Unity manual and can get all the information about this component. So Unity documentation can be very, very useful, and I encourage you to read it from time to time. But To be honest, I don't need to encourage you because you need to read this documentation. So now you know how to work with components, how and why to add them, edit them, and even know the most important physics components.